Good morning. It is Monday again. Welcome to Bookie Monsters, or welcome back if you are returning. I appreciate all of you. It is July 31st, last day of July. We made it. We are here to talk about books. Just some administrative things out of the way. I am here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday mornings at 6 a.m. Mountain Time because I live in Montana. That would be 8 a.m. Eastern. You can always watch us on replay. I know it's early because I'm a morning person. And let's see, we're going to do some reading sprints this week. I have a new release tomorrow I'm so excited about. So I'm going to be doing reading sprints Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings at 6:05 p.m. So I hope you can join me for those if you've got some good things to read, or if you just want to work on some hobbies, be productive, whatever you like. But we are going to be looking at new releases here in the mornings, genre by genre. And it's only for 25 minutes. The time goes by really fast, so we will be jumping into those. I had a good reading week. I am currently reading No Honor in Death by Eric Thompson. Now, according to my Amazon purchase history, I believe I bought this in 2017. I just hadn't read it yet, and I don't know why I didn't. I like sci-fi, and it's just really hitting a spot right now, so I guess it's like wine. It just needed to get to the perfect time to read it, and I guess that was now. I'm really, really liking it. I am at 42%, so almost halfway there. I was kind of caught in a limbo of what to read this weekend because I had finished one book, and then I didn't want to get too involved in another book because of my new release tomorrow, possibly two new releases tomorrow for me. So I found this one. I'm very, very, very happy. Also, administratively, you might notice a different background behind me. I did get a new camera this weekend, a new webcam, and I like it a lot. The only thing that freaks me out is that it's a wider lens, so it's picking up more of what's behind me, and that freaked me out because I don't want to clean my house. I don't have time. So, but the cool thing is it lets me choose different backgrounds back here. So I'm going to be playing around with different things back there. So I think that's really kind of cool, kind of fun. All right, enough. Let us go to, I'm going to stop that. Let's go look at some new releases. Let's get the show on the road. We're here to look at books. All right, so this is bookrights.com. This does the new releases each week, but it does, I think, mainly just the big publishers because it is actually not comprehensive. In fact, it does not have the fantasy book that I'm excited about for tomorrow, and it's a big deal fantasy book, so I don't know what's up with that. But we will look at some of the listings here, genre by genre, and at least start to get an idea of what's coming out this week because we are Bookie Monsters. Om nom nom. Let's look at mysteries and thrillers that they say are coming out this week. And they list 6 of them. First one here, this is done alphabetically. So first one is Evergreen by Naomi Hirahara. I read a couple books of hers. She has a different series. This might be a new one or a standalone, not sure. 312 pages. Japanese-American nurse's aide navigates the dangers of post-World War II and post-Manzanar life as she attempts to find justice for a broken family in this follow-up to another book. It's been 2 years since Aki Ito and her family were released from Manzanar Detention Center and resettled in Chicago with other Japanese Americans. Now the Itos have finally been allowed to return home to California, but nothing is as they left it. The entire Japanese American community is starting from scratch with thousands of people living in dismal refugee camps while they struggle to find new houses and jobs in overcrowded Los Angeles. Aki is working as a nurse's aide at the Japanese hospital in Boyle Heights when an elderly Issei man is admitted with suspicious injuries. When she seeks out his son, she is shocked to recognize her husband's best friend, Babe Watanabe. Could Babe be guilty of elder abuse? Only a few days later, little Tokyo is rocked by a murder at the low-income hotel where the Watanabes have been staying. When the cops start sniffing around Aki's home, she begins to worry that the violence tearing through her community might threaten her family. What secrets have the Watanabes been hiding, and can Aki protect her husband from getting tangled up in a murder investigation? Yeah, this is a different series than the one I read, but she is a good writer. Just Another Missing Person by Gillian McAllister, definitely a domestic thriller. In which a missing persons case unravels deeper, darker secrets that hit too close to home and can only lead to more danger for the detective and an impossible moral choice. What will she do? There's a man out there. His weapon isn't a gun or a knife, it's a secret. Olivia, 22 years old, no history of running away. Last seen on CCTV entering a dead-end alley and not coming back out again. Missing for 1 day and counting. Julia, the detective heading up the case. She knows what to expect: a desperate family, a ticking clock, and long hours away from her daughter. But Julia has no idea how close to home this case is going to get, because her family's safety depends on one thing. Julia must not find out what happened to Olivia and must frame somebody else for her murder. What would you do? Oh, that sounds actually pretty good. At least worth a check out. That is very cool. All right. One Night by Georgina Cross. Very green cover. One night. That's all the time a family has to decide what to do with the family they believe murdered their daughter. Do they forgive him or take justice into their own hands? The anonymous letters arrive in the mail one by one. To find out what really happened to Meg, meet at this location. Don't tell anyone you're coming. In one night, you'll find out everything you need to know. 10 years after her murder, the letters tell Megan's family exactly when and where to meet: a cliffside home on the Oregon coast. But on the night they're promised answers, the convicted killer, her high school boyfriend, Cal, who spent only 10 years in prison for murder, is found unconscious in his car, slammed into a tree near the house where the family is sitting and waiting. Is he the one who invited them to gather? As the storm rampages along the Pacific Northwest, the power cuts off and leaves the family with no choice of returning to the main road and finding help. So they drag Cal back to the house for the remainder of the night. How easy it would be to let him die and claim it was an accident. Or do they help him instead? As the hours tick by, it becomes an excruciating choice. Half of the family wants to kill him. The other half wants him to regain consciousness so he can tell them what he knows. But if Cal wakes up, he might reveal that someone in the family knows more than they are letting on. And if that's the case, who is the real killer? And are they already in the house? That sounds interesting too. That was One Night by Georgia Cross. The Messenger by Megan Davis. Looks like it's set in Paris. After moving back to Paris to live with his French dad, Alex Giraud is struggling to fit in among the kids of the rich elite at his exclusive school, and he feels stifled by the expectations of his overbearing father. Eddie Giraud used to be one of the most fearless journalists in Paris, but his professional and personal disappointments have made him a cynical, opportunistic man who has little patience for his son's lack of ambition. Welcome to Gen Z. Desperate to escape the increasingly suffocating atmosphere at home, Alex seeks freedom in the French metropolis, where his newfound friend Sammy teaches him the rules of the street. But everything has a price, and one night of rebellion changes their lives forever. A simple plan for a robbery takes a sinister turn when Alex's father is found dead. Despite protesting their innocence, Alex and Sammy are imprisoned for murder. 7 years later, Alex is released from prison with a single purpose: discover who really killed his father. And as he searches for answers, Alex is tormented by his sense of guilt for his father and for Sammy. And as he begins to uncover the truth about his father's killer, other shocking revelations with far reaching consequences come to light. Will Alex be able to survive his own personal demons and, after all this time, bring the murderer to justice? There's a lot going on in that one. The Messenger by Megan Davis. The Trap by Catherine Ryan Howard. From award-winning Comes The Trap, an unsettling mystery inspired by a series of still unsolved disappearances in Ireland in the 90s, wherein one young woman risks everything to catch a faceless killer. 1 year ago, Lucy's sister Nikki left to meet friends at a pub in Dublin and never came home. The third Irish woman to vanish inexplicably in as many years. The agony of not knowing what happened that night has turned Lucy's life into a waking nightmare. So she's going to take matters into her own hands. Angela works as a civilian paper pusher in the missing persons unit, but wants nothing more than to be a fully fledged member of I don't know how to say that, the Irish police force. With the official investigation into the missing woman stalled, she begins pulling on a thread that could break the case wide open and destroy her chances of ever joining the force. A nameless man drives through the night, and his latest victim in the back seat. He's going to tell her everything from the beginning, and soon she'll realize what you don't know can hurt you. The Trap by Catherine Ryan Howard. And the last one that they have listed for this week in Mysteries and Thrillers is To Catch a Storm by Mindy Mejia. Oh, hi, Mary. You're not late. You're fine. My builder came by and we were talking about the door project. Here now, though. Hope you had a great weekend. I hope you had a good weekend, too. Did you get some good resting, good reading, some good productivity? Thank you very much. Yep, we are slowly building up there. Let's see, To Catch a Storm by Mindy Mejia. It's a new series. When her husband's car is found abandoned and on fire in the middle of a rainstorm, Eve Roth becomes the police's #1 suspect. After all, her husband was suspended from the University of Iowa for inappropriate conduct with a student, and who else but an atmospheric physicist could incinerate a car in a downpour? But that doesn't make sense to me. But Eve has no idea why her husband disappeared. She's desperate to find him, both for herself and her beloved disabled father-in-law. Jonah Kendrick appears on their doorstep with a theory. He's seen Eve's husband bound and bleeding in a barn. Claiming to be a psychic detective who dreams of the lost, Jonah has helped find missing people his entire life. He dreamed about a young woman trapped in the same barn months ago, and she's still missing. As a firm believer in the laws of nature, Eve rejects anything to do with psychics, but their investigations soon collide. As the temperature drops and Iowa turns to ice, Eve and Jonah race across the state to discover what happened to the people they've lost. But the truth is more deadly than there's a missing word there than either of them expected. And the physicist and the psychic must learn to believe in each other if they want to escape this storm alive. To Catch a Storm. Yeah, that's one just another missing person. That one was interesting to me. Rate, let's jump over to freshfiction.com. We've got some time to look at some of the cozies. We'll take a look at just mysteries here today. A book club to die for. By Dorothy St. James. Book 3 of 3 of the beloved Bookroom Mystery. When a member of an exclusive book club is checked out, spunky librarian Trudell Beckett must sort fact from fiction to solve the murder. The Cypress Arrête Society is one of the town's oldest and most exclusive clubs. When assistant librarian Trudell Beckett is invited to speak to the group about the library, its modernization, and her efforts to bring printed books to the reading public, her friend Flossie invites herself along. Flossie has been on the book club's waiting list for 5 years, and she's determined to find out why she's never received an invitation to join. But not long after True and Flossie arrive for the meeting, they're shocked to find the club's president, Rebecca White, dead in the kitchen. I hate it when that happens. Rebecca was a former TV actress and local celebrity, but was not known for being patient or pleasant. She's been particularly unkind to the book club's host for the evening, who also happens to be the mother of Detective Jace Bailey, True's boyfriend. And Rebecca has made it clear that she didn't like Flossie's book club material. With her boyfriend and one of her best friends wrapped up in a murder, True has to work fast to figure out who cut Rebecca's story short. Oh, 8 months this early before the killer takes another victim out of circulation. Dot dot dot. Mary, that sounds pretty good. I signed up for a show this coming weekend. Probably crazy. Oh, good job. Do you have enough stuff, or do you have to make like 200 pairs of earrings like Randy did? Can you read this book, A Book Club to Die For, and Librarian? Can you? I know you used to be a librarian. Um, can you read books about that, or are you just kind of they don't do it right? Like I can't read books about Montana because they have us riding around on horses, and we don't have computers and things like that. So I'm curious if you can read because I know there's a big subgenre of librarian cozies out there. This one doesn't have a cover. A Deadly Dedication. Did that one just come out? Or is it sneaking in? Nope, it's a new one. A Deadly Dedication, The Open Book Mysteries, Book 4. When murder taints writer-in-residence Penelope Parrish's charming British bookshop, she must follow the clues to catch a killer before tempers boil over. Penelope Parrish thought she'd turned the page on her amateur sleuthing days, but when the owner of Upper Cholmondeley-on-Stoke's proposed high-end gourmet shop is poisoned, the American novelist starts to wonder if she and her quaint British town are in for another rewrite. It turns out that not everyone was a fan of Simeon Foster's, or maybe it's Simon, but I think it's Simeon, farm source charcuterie and imported pastries. Many of the locals were outraged by the potential new competition. With a full menu of suspects on her hands, this just might be Penelope's toughest case yet. Luckily, her friends at the Open Book are there to help with every twist of the poisoned pen. People will like it because it has a cat on the cover. Looks like there's some fireworks back there, but it's British. Ours not to reason, ours not to question. It's okay. Mary says, no, most of the time I can read library books. I was in administration most of my years, so I dealt with all aspects of the library, and it's fine to read. Good deal, good deal. I'd hate to cut out a huge chunk of what you can read. All right. A Troubling Tale. We're going to get a whole bunch of animal puns. I just know it. A Troubling Tale, a Bookmobile Cat Mystery Book number 11 by Laurie Cass. When the owner of a local candy store is murdered, see, I told you, if you couldn't read librarians, you'd be stuck. Librarian Minnie Hamilton and her rescue cat Eddie prepare to find the sweet spot to solve a crime. The charming town of Chilson, Michigan, is beautiful in the spring, and the bookmobile is delivering great reads far and wide on one of the first warm days of the year. But a chill sweeps through when they discover that one of their favorite patrons, the owner of Hennica's Candy Emporium, has been found murdered. Although Minnie can't understand who could have had a motive to murder such a kind man, she decides that this sticky problem isn't hers to solve. That's novel. Boom, boom. However, when rumors start flying around town and the police have no leads, Minnie decides to throw her investigative hat into the ring. The more Minnie investigates, the less certain she is that the victim's past is as wholesome as his reputation. But Minnie has plenty of experience unearthing inconvenient truths, and she and Eddie won't rest until they determine how the victim met his bitter end. That's A Troubling Tale by Laurie Cass. Another book, another cat. You like this? Yeah, I do too. I'm partial to British set books. Again, we're just looking for mysteries. Barking up the right tree. We're going to get more puns. That's what cozies love to do. They love to do the puns and the cute titles. This is a Poppy mystery tale. One of two. Hang on a second. Is this one sneaking in? No. All right then. The launch of a brand new British cozy crime series, perfect for fans of the Thursday Murder Club. It kind of has that vibe, doesn't it? When Emily's boyfriend walks out, she is devastated. As she is puzzling over what to do with the rest of her life because of a boyfriend, she's surprised. I'm sorry, no judging. She is surprised to learn that her great aunt has died, leaving Emily her cottage in the picturesque Wiltshire village of Ashton Mead. This inheritance comes with a condition. Emily must take care of her great aunt's pet. Not knowing what to expect, Emily sets off for the village, hoping to make a new life for herself. In the village, she soon makes friends with Hannah, who runs the Sunshine Tea Shop, and meets other residents of the village where she decides to settle. All is going well until her unknown pet arrives. Then Emily's ex-boyfriend turns up, and against the advice of her new friends, she takes him back. When her next-door neighbor's daughter disappears in mysterious circumstances, Emily decides to investigate, unwittingly putting her own life in danger. It doesn't say what kind of pet it is. Is it a iguana? A snake? You have to read it to find out. That's not nice. Yeah, that's kind of the issue I have. But if you like it, you get a lot of choices. One of the big book wholesalers, yep, Baker and Taylor. I remember they have two Manx cats. One is Baker and one is Taylor. Oh, very cool. Oh no, the bells. Working. Oh, okay. You were very clever. Before you found me, bellies best served cold. Is that one? We're gonna have to start winding up here. The bells have rung. Nope, this is a new one too. And it wasn't listed in the. We'll do this one. Best Served Cold, a Rick Montoya Italian mystery by David P. Wagner. Revenge is a dish best served cold. When an old college friend leading a religious tour in Assisi asks interpreter Rick Montoya to fill in for their guide who's gone missing, Rick is happy to oblige. He's looking forward to seeing his old friend, and the food and wine of Umbria sounds like the perfect reward for a tense translation job he's just completed for the police in Palermo, involving witness testimony against the mafia. But when the shady tour guide is found dead the next morning under suspicious circumstances, Rick's relaxing gig turns into an unofficial job assisting the local police inspector with her interviews of the tour group members. Could one of the pious pilgrims be a cold-blooded killer, or has one of the victims' many shady dealings finally caught up with him? That sounds kind of interesting. And having doing the Italian, always nice. I'm going to turn this back on while we are signing out here, because it's almost 25 after and we got to start wrapping things up. I appreciate everybody, especially you, Mary, for coming this morning, and anybody else who has tuned in and is kind of lurking in the background. Say hi. It's okay. If you're watching this on repeat, welcome back. I appreciate you tuning in. I know it's early. This is just, I'm a morning person. It's disgusting. I know. I hope everybody has a beautiful Monday as best as possible. The time one does sound interesting. We can nice have a recipe. That would make it truly a cozy. Um, so just administratively again, uh, I am here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 6 a.m. Uh, nope, not tonight. But I will be doing sprints Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings. I have a new release coming out tomorrow, technically 10 o'clock tonight on my Kindle. So I am just going to be so excited to read it. So yeah, I'm doing sprints at 6:05 Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday evenings for about 2.5 hours. So I hope people tune in for that. Be sure to hit the like button if you like. Be sure to subscribe and the notification bell so that you know when we are doing these. So I appreciate you. And remember, you don't get good person points if you are reading something you're not liking, because reading is fun. Don't make it into something you're not liking. Yeah, no kidding. But everybody have a good Monday, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.